6 months ago, I went ahead and parked the FRS up for winter, but now it is finally time to bring it back. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, this is basically the first winter I've had with this car. Yes, I did own this car last year, but it sat outside and it also was in two different colors and it also was in a wreck and needed a lot of work. But this is the first winter I had with this car sitting kind of perfect, kind of where I want it to be. I definitely didn't want to take this car out in winter and basically ruin it. Now, this car is wrapped, so I didn't want to take the risk on damaging the wrap. This car is also on air suspension. I didn't want to go ahead and freeze any lines or run into any issues with the air suspension, so we pretty much thought it was best to go ahead and park this car up. Now, fast forwarding to today, it is actually a really nice day outside and I want to try to go ahead and get this car out of here. But before we go ahead and do that, this car does need a few things. So I went ahead and removed the oil filter, and then I also removed the oil cap right over here. As you guys can see, there is some black smudge all over the car, like these droppings that I'm seeing. And there was a lot more, but I already went ahead and cleaned it. I am going to go back and clean this again in a bit. But something that I also did notice is that there is a hole right over here. Now, I can't remember if that's normal or not. I don't think that is, but if it is normal, let me know in the comment section below. I'm thinking maybe the previous owner went ahead and ran like an oil filter or something, and that's why that hole is there. I honestly have no clue. And maybe because we have this hole right over here, that might be creating all of this black smudge. I don't know. I actually just don't know. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. And this right here is the oil filter that we're going with. We're just going with a typical Fram oil filter. I can definitely go with something like K&N or something a bit more expensive, but honestly, there is no point. This is going to get changed out 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers in anyways, and this was pretty cheap. So I thought it was a pretty good idea to go ahead and buy this one right over here. Also, on the top, I do really like how it has some grip. So if you're installing it or uninstalling it, it is pretty easy. So taking a look at the oil right over here, it actually all seems pretty good. Something you want to look out for is something like metal shavings, or if you find anything in your oil that would kind of give you an idea that something is going wrong. But so far, everything looks good. The oil is very black and it is very dark, but I'm really happy with the state of the oil. It actually looks pretty good. So we got the oil filter on, and I also couldn't find my funnel. So what we did is we went ahead and cut up a water bottle. So this is the top half of the water bottle, and it fits literally perfectly. So we're gonna go ahead and use this as a funnel to go ahead and put the oil into the car. Okay, and now we're going to be using the second bottle, and we're only going to be using about half of this bottle. Now, it is day 2 of the whole entire restoration process and pretty much getting the FRS ready to finally pull the car out of the garage for the first time in 6 months. And yesterday it got a bit late, so I decided to go ahead and do the rest today. Now, what we're going to be doing right now is going ahead and putting the FRS back onto the stock wheels. Now, I'm going to show you guys why we're doing that just in a second, but let's go ahead and get started with taking the wheels off. And this right here is exactly why the wheels are coming off, is because if you guys take a look right over here, I did mention this in a different video, but you guys can literally see the wire showing through the tires. I've had these tires for about 4 years, so I'm perfectly fine with going ahead and replacing them. I knew I had to do it anyways. This right here is not safe to drive on, and I don't want to pull the car out and pop a tire. I've done that way too many times. So we got the stock wheels on the car, and it's gonna look so weird once it's on the ground, but it honestly doesn't even look too bad. These stock wheels I thought would look a lot worse. Obviously the fitment is horrible. You guys can see how sunken in the wheels are, but looks wise, it actually doesn't even look that bad. So we got the tires loaded up in the Lexus, and we are now on our way to Tire Boss to go ahead and throw on a brand new set of 235/40 18 tires onto these wheels.
Approximately 10 hours later.
And just like that, we went ahead and got new tires mounted up on the wheels. Now let's go home and install these onto the FRS. So we went ahead and finally got the wheels on the car. These are the Wed Sport wheels that we run during the summertime, and they're finally sitting on a fresh set of brand new tires. Now that the wheels are on the car, now that the oil change is done, there's pretty much one more thing left to do, which is to start this car. I have full faith in this car. I don't think we'll run into any issues. I think this car will start perfectly fine, but the only thing with this car is it does have an extremely loud cold start. It's definitely one of the loudest cold starts I've heard on an FRS, BRZ, or 86, and we're gonna start the car up for the first time in a couple of months, and it is going to be brutal. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the GoPro because the mic on this camera can definitely not handle it. Okay, so we went ahead and got the car on, it started, and we still have a couple of lights on the dash. The reason why we have those lights is because we're still dealing with the ABS issue that we had last year when we went ahead and rebuilt this car. Now, one thing that is good is that the gas is low. So the gas that's sitting in this car is probably from October, November. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive around, and so we go ahead and empty the tank so we can throw some new gas in here, because driving around with 5 to 6 months of old gas is probably not a good idea. How loud this car is. This car is so loud. And there it is right there. There's the gas light we were waiting for. And my car is hyper flashing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that signal is hyper flashing like crazy. I think one of my lights blew out when I did a pull, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and check that light. Oh, that guy is not looking where he's going. Don't scrape. Oh shit, we scraped. Oh, we got an FRS pulling up beside me. He gave me the thumbs up. He's probably looking at my GoPro and being like, what the heck? Damn, those pops are crazy. Finally, this car is back. I'm so excited to go ahead and start modifying this car more. It's been away for literally 6 months. I parked this car up in October and it's now April. I'm so excited to finally take this car out, enjoy the weather, and modify this thing more. And just like last year, we're gonna be spending a crazy amount of money modifying this thing, and I literally cannot wait.